Hi! You got me a little early. I'm still prepping, but that's okay. I figured with all I got to do right now, getting things ready for today, I'd just go ahead and turn the camera on a minute or two early. And hopefully the dishwasher will stop running in a minute. That's bad timing, sorry. Hope you're all well today. I am going to make... earlier in the week, I posted a couple pictures of an apple pancake that I had made. And that kind of evolved into a couple more different recipes, so I want to show you that. Somebody said it would be really good with peaches. And I thought, oh, peaches would be good. It's not the season for peaches. You can't find peaches anywhere. Okay, I stopped the dishwasher. Sorry, that was driving me crazy. But I did get pears. So I'm going to make an apple pancake and a pear pancake. And I'll show you that in just a moment. I posted some pictures of a bread pudding that I had made that turned out to be amazing. And the other day when we're sitting there, after we had had the bread pudding, I thought, you know, this would make a nice baked French toast as well. I could just take this and throw French toast ingredients into it rather than the sweet bread pudding recipe. I could make more of a French toast kind of thing for a basic breakfast. So I did that the next day, and that turned out really well. So I'm going to show you that. The other thing that I will show you, I'm cutting up bread. I baked bread last night, so I'd have bread for all this stuff. The last thing I want to show you, Facebook has been showing me this recipe for this pizza pot pie. And I thought, is there some way I could attempt that? And I thought, okay, I'm going to try that in cast iron and see if I can make something similar to that pizza pot pie. That's all the bread I'm going to cut right now. Okay. We'll add the sink right there. The other thing I have to do real quick is mix up my pizza dough that we're going to need a little later. I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. This is all prep stuff. I'll give you the pizza dough recipe a little bit later. It is one of those really super easy things, and this way it can be getting itself all ready for when we need it. I went to the grocery store this morning. I got a movie at Redbox, and I had to stop with the movie because I had to get prepped. And I didn't realize how long I would need to prep this morning, so it is what it is. Okay. So there's that, and that's just going to rest for a little bit. Okay. So let's get to our pancakes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make little pancakes. And the thing we found out about these apple pancakes, they are wonderful for a breakfast, and you just serve the apple pancake as it is. But the first time I made them in the evening, and we put vanilla ice cream on them, and they were dessert. And if you do in fancy little individual pans, it just makes it all the more precious. So I'm going to start warming these up a little bit. On low. Look at me, I'm cooking with both hands and 2 burners. Desi Lou, my puppy's right here. I don't want to step on you. You're in a bad place. I'm going to put a little butter in these pans, just to get things going, about a tablespoon. Now, a lot of people will do this particular apple for baking, this particular apple for applesauce or whatever. They do different apples for different. Same with potatoes. They do this potato's better for this and this. We buy potatoes, we buy apples, whatever's looking good at the moment, and that's what I use. I'm still here. I'm still here. I found it. I found it. Okay. I had to find my melon baller. All right. So I'm going to take a red apple. It's red. It's yellow too. They were on sale. That was the kind that was on sale this week. Okay. And I just cut these in half, use my melon baller to remove the core. So I keep as much apple as I can. Turn these down a little bit. I don't want them too hot too fast. Again, melon baller. Okay. Remove the little core sides, because nobody wants to eat little green pokey things when they're eating apples. You all know that one. Okay. I'm just going to slice these up. They can be thick or thin, however you prefer, whatever's easiest for you. There's no magic apple size for this. You just want to always make sure when you're cutting things that your size is always consistent. If you decide to do apple real thin, make sure all the pieces are real thin, because everything will cook consistently that way. If you have big pieces and small pieces, then you're going to have some pieces that are overcooked and soggy, and you're going to have other pieces that are, bigger pieces that are still real hard on the inside. So, I've got the apple and butter. Good apple. I'm going to sprinkle with some cinnamon. Maybe a teaspoon. And we'll put some brown sugar on it. Then it's going to caramelize real nice. Wes is here. Hi, Wes.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Come have a seat at the dining room table. I have a taste tester today. Okay. So I've got the apple cinnamon in. I have the apple simmering with the sugar and cinnamon. Dobby and Dazzy. You know him. Again with the melon baller to remove the inside core. You can grab them treats in here if you'd like to, Wes. They got treats in a jar in here if you'd like to. I have very friendly dogs. They like everybody. So same thing with the pear. I removed the inside, took off the ends, and I am just going to slice this up. Same consistency and thinness the whole way. And actually for these small pans, I think I'm just going to use a half a pear. The apple was a little too big for the pan by itself. So I'm just going to use a half a pear for this one. Okay. So again, there's my pear and my butter. My very hot butter. I'm right off the camera. And I forgot my shield. There we go. Hopefully that light's a little more friendly. Okay. Cinnamon. And brown sugar. I'll need that later. I'll have stuff coming out of the oven in a little while, Wes. I'll have stuff coming out of the oven in a little bit for you guys. So, I've got the pancakes or the apples and the pears are simmering. While they're simmering, I'm going to mix up my pancake batter. I did not use any fancy pancake batter. This is going to be the box stuff, because that's the way it is sometimes. Now, I'm going to use 2 cups and a cup and a half. Used to live in Minneapolis, and there was a restaurant in Minneapolis. I think it was called the Pannekuchenhaus, something like that. Had all kinds of fancy pancakes. So there is the 2 cups of flour. Who wants to take bets that I'm not going to get a cup and a half of milk of water in that? It's going to be close. Yep, it's not going to work. But we will make it work. Stir these up a bit. The apples are getting soft, a little browned in the butter. There. Those are looking yummy. I have some of my mixing bowls in the dishwasher, so I've already missed out. I need to get half a cup more water in there. So it's overkill, but it works. I never claimed to have a perfect kitchen. I think anybody that's watched has known that. Liddy, are you watching for when your husband gets to eat? Is she watching at home? Or she's running around doing everything else?
She is hanging out with some friends from college.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe she's watching that.
Probably not then.
She's out of state.
Ah. Okay. My pears and my apples are nicely cooked, a little soft. I'm starting to get a syrup on the bottom, so that's just where I want them to be. Cooked a bit syrupy looking from the brown sugar and the juices of the fruit. Can you see? See that? See it going ooey gooey? Okay. So from there, I'm just going to put the pancake batter on top. There. And into the oven for about 15 minutes. There we go. Okay. So those are going to bake now. I got other stuff in there too. So, the 2 bread puddings, or excuse me, the bread pudding I had done. Bread pudding uses a lot more sugar. So what I'm going to show you is the breakfast one that has less sugar in it. It's more of a French toast than it is a bread pudding kind of a thing. So I've got my bread all mashed up in there. I made a loaf of bread last night, that crusty bread that I had made before. So I chopped up a whole loaf of that to make these things. So, yet another mixing bowl. So on this one, I'm going to get my measuring cup and my milk. Someday when I'm rich and famous from cooking, I can have a nice kitchen where you can see everything and cameras that will follow me. So I'm doing a cup of milk. Just a little bit of sugar, because you put sugar in your French toast. And we're going to do 4 eggs. A little brown sugar. I like to mix brown sugar and white sugar. It gives more richness and flavor. And my vanilla. The homemade vanilla that I made. Just a squirt. Smell this, Wes.
Would you use to make it?
Okay.
Nice.
Does that smell like vanilla?
Uh-huh.
Say it louder. Does that smell like vanilla?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. That's good stuff. Okay, and some cinnamon. And I also like, I put them away too. I have to stop putting things away so that you guys can't see me. I don't have a big thing of raisins, but I got a big thing of dried cranberries. So I'm throwing cranberries in our French toast. But again, to make this a bread pudding, you just add more sugar. So, I'm going to whisk this up. Oh, forgot my eggs. 4 eggs. Without their shells. I could tell you that egg white story sometime. Once I've got the eggs, the milk, the sugar, the cranberries or raisins or whatever else you're going to use. Basically, whatever your French toast recipe is, just make up your French toast batter and throw the bread in it. I will need just a little bit more bread in there. So I'm going to cut up 1 more. I just made this bread this morning, but if I had made it last night, it would have been a little drier. Because say for good French toast, you should leave your bread out on the counter all night long so it dries out. The more the bread dries out, the more of the mixture it'll soak up. Okay. So there's all that in there. And again, I'm just going to mix up this mixture. And I want the bread to soak in it for a while. I want the bread to suck up all that egg and milk mixture and cover itself with the sugar. I want this just to become one big mixture. Okay. And again, when I bake this off now, it's going to be more like a French toast. You can put syrup on it, or you can mix up a little bit powdered sugar, milk, vanilla frosting. That takes 2 seconds. Now, I'm going to make the more savory one for breakfast. That one, I'm going to use sausage. Just regular breakfast sausage. And I'm going to do my cup of milk. I'm going to have to go buy more eggs because I've used up almost all the eggs today. Because there's, like I say, stuff in the oven. And 4 eggs. And I'm also going to put in this one salt and pepper. There we go. mix all that up. So I want the salt and the pepper and the sausage to get all over everything. And the egg, I want that all completely combined. I hope I'm not missing good questions. How do you make vanilla? A bottle of fairly cheap vodka. And I got myself, actually for Valentine's Day this last year, I got a package of 6 vanilla beans, the whole bean, long bean. And you just slice open those vanilla beans so that the seeds can get out. You drop them in the bottle of vanilla, or in the bottle of vodka. Put it in a dark place in your pantry, turn it over every few days or so, and you can see it just deepening and deepening and deepening in color.
Yeah, Lydia and I did that for a while.
It's really good, and it's so much cheaper, and it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
You know, you can pay $3 for a little bottle of it, and it really doesn't last all that long if you do a lot of cooking. Okay. So again, this is the savory one. It's got the sausage in it. Oh, and I did want to put a little bit of sage in it. I like the sage flavor in sausage, so I just want to intensify that a little bit throughout the whole dish. So salt, pepper, sage, eggs, and milk. Now I want these to sit. Like I say, I'm not going to cook these off now. I want them to sit and soak up as much good stuff as they can. Then I move them aside. Don't eat those, I won't taste them. Don't eat the raw stuff. Okay. Okay. So now, before we start checking on things in the oven, the last thing I wanted to try, so we got the 2 pancakes going. We have the bread pudding, the French toast bread pudding kind of thing going, and we have the savory one going. The thing that kept popping up on Facebook this week was this pizza pot pie thing. One of the networks had kept showing it over and over again. I thought, I'm going to try that. This is cast iron, but it's ceramic coated cast iron. I have 4 of these, and I thought this would be the perfect size for doing that. So, this is my first attempt. I do not have these in the oven. I have not done these before. This is my very first attempt to see if I can make this work. Okay. Usually I'll heat up my cast iron first. This one I am not heating up first. I'm taking some butter and coating the inside of my pan, a little crock. And I also want to coat the outside because the bread is going to go over the top. The crust is going to go over the top, so I want to try to grease that up, oil it, butter it, whatever, so that the bread doesn't stick when it comes time. I'm going to make 2 because I have a feeling when somebody gets home from work, they're going to want one. Okay. So that's all buttered. They used a Wisconsin brick cheese. I didn't find any Wisconsin brick cheese at my local market. So I thought, I like mustard. That's different. They don't use mozzarella in their recipe. So I thought this would be a good try. Oops, sorry, I don't want to show that name. No name brands. And they just loaded it up with cheese. It was as much cheese as anything else in there. So I'll see how much cheese I can fit in this little bowl. So we're layering this around. Looks like I might get 4 or 5 pieces in there. Let's try for 4. Yeah, that fits around nice in my bowl. But they put the cheese down first because they're making basically this whole thing upside down. They kept it simple. I'm going to keep it simple. I'll play with it and make it my own later and make it a little more complicated. Okay, I have 10 pieces of cheese in this, so they're getting 5 each. They also did a couple button mushrooms. Lucky for me, I have 4 little baby portobellos left, so I'm going to put those in there. And I'm cheating on my sauce. Yep, you heard the pop of the jar. So I'm just covering this with the jarred sauce. And I could very well add any of my favorite pizza things in there. I could do onions, I could do green peppers, pepperonis, whatever you like. I'm just trying to keep it easy for this morning. Now, I did my pizza dough, and that's been resting and getting itself all ready. I'll give you that recipe. Okay, I will post that recipe because my laptop went to sleep. Had to go get more flour today, too. Okay. Just using a little bit of flour to be able to get my spoon out of there and turn it out on the cutting board. I have timers going off. This is good things. Oh, it doesn't like the hand bump. I think that got it. Oh, it didn't. Okay, that time I got it. After I get this pizza dough done, then I can pull out stuff from the oven while these bake off. Okay, this is looking good, this pizza dough. So because this pizza dough recipe would actually do like one really big pizza, you know, or a couple, I'm using about 1/4 of the recipe to make the crust. Now I just want to make this round enough that it will cover my bowl. And I want it all sealed up. That worked out pretty good. I'm happy with that. See? See, isn't that cute? I'll do the other one too now. I have a feeling I will make these much more fancy the next time. A lot of my recipes I do simple first to see how they go, and then every time I eat something I'm like, I could do this or I could do that next time. And that's why it's difficult for me to get this cookbook together, because I keep trying things and I keep playing with the recipes. But what I try to teach you guys is more of a technique, so that you can just go and learn a couple techniques and then use your own imagination to come up with everything. Okay, these are going to go in my little oven. And they're going to cook for about a half hour. I hope they're done in time. Okay. My extra dough is just going to get packed away for now. And who knows what I'll make later. Hey, baby girl, if you're watching, not sure if you're on there. My daughter's baby girl. Okay, let's see what's ready to come out of the oven. That's the savory one. And it's looking pretty good. This is the sweet one. Sweet one I'm going to give a few more minutes to. Because it still looks a little wet in the middle, and I don't want it looking wet in the middle. So over the breakfasty one, I'm going to throw a little cheddar cheese. This is the one with the sausage in it. A little extra sage. The fancy French toast. What's the other thing I get hung up on? I don't know what to call any of my food. Now this is hot enough that the cheese is going to somewhat melt. Otherwise I actually could put it back in the oven with the cheese on for a few minutes, but I want to eat it. It's got a little crust on the top. Ooh, that does look good. Okay, Wes, you gotta come here and try now. I'll give you a few minutes of camera time. Come stand over here so people can see you. It's fiery hot. You have to move in. Come on, there you go. This is Wes.
Hi.
It's hot. Don't hurt yourself. That good? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mmm. Would you make this for your wife?
Totally.
Yeah. It is so good. The eggs are done. It's a savory French toasty kind of thing. There's a sausage in it. But this would also make a good dinner. It doesn't take a whole, this is something you can throw together with regular sandwich bread, cut it all up. Do this whole recipe, you just make sausage. Or you do it for breakfast. Oh, okay.
Just a little bit of sweet to it.
Just a little bit of sweet. Mm-hmm. Not a lot.
Right.
Okay, you go back over there. I gotta pull something else out of the oven.
I'm being kicked out.
Yes, you got kicked out of the kitchen for a moment. Just for a moment. We'll see how the sweet one's doing, the French toasty one. That's looking good too. Come here, Wes. Give that one a try. I forgot to show them the food. See, this is the one that's French toast. It's got the little cran raisins on it. Okay, it's got cinnamon in it. This is the breakfasty one. It's got the sausage in it. Breakfasty one. They're both breakfasty or dinnery, whichever you want to do. You'll like them both very bigly. I have to throw that in there. What do you think? Is that good too? You get the vanilla in it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me try.
It's also still quite warm.
It is very warm. That's why you have to go for very small bites so that you don't burn the heck out of the back of your throat. Well, it tastes like cinnamon French toast. It's going to be so good with vanilla ice cream on it. Vanilla ice cream, or you could do little whipped cream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is very breakfast or very dessert. I still got 2 more in the oven. I'm going to let those sit for a minute. The pancake in the oven like that doesn't brown real deep like you would if you're just making a pancake on the stove. But you can turn the thing over anyway. So it'll look pretty. Any questions I can catch while I'm looking for a moment? Any questions? Hi! Hi! Sylvia, I still have to make your macaroni and cheese for you. Not that Sylvia. My other friend Sylvia.
I figured.
Yeah. I thought you might know the difference. Okay. I'm going to try to turn out the apple one now. My worst fear is I'm going to put this plate on top of the cast iron and it's going to go. But it hasn't yet. Plate on top, cloth around, flip. And it mostly worked. Sometimes you get a little stickage, but nobody needs to know that. Julia Child always said, what happens in the kitchen stays in the kitchen. Or something to that effect. Look at that. Do you see that? Could have gone with a little less pancake mix. But you can see the glaze from the cinnamon and the brown sugar on top. Let's do the one for pears now, too. Plate on top, flip. Little shake. Look at that, only a little stickage. That's with pears. Could you imagine having some kind of a dinner party and you just make up a whole bunch of these little individual ones and just give everybody bites all the time? Wes, are you still hungry?
With this kind of food, how can I not be?
Yeah. There is the pear. Isn't it the pear?
Yes.
It's the pear. They look very similar. It's hard to tell. Look how fluffy that pancake is in there. But the syrupy stuff soaked in real good too. You're so good you're eating every bite.
Every bite. Every bite.
Could you imagine in the spring you could use other fruits? Strawberries would work out pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Blueberries, blackberries. I just took a bite of fruit.
Nice.
The cinnamon definitely comes through on both of them. You can smell the cinnamon. The cinnamon.
That's cinnamon.
The cinnamon one. Saying cinnamon can be hard enough. Saying it with hot food in your mouth. Try that next time. I'm still watching for my pizza messes to see what they turn into. They're cooking pretty good. They had to be at a higher temperature. I had the oven set at 375. I cooked all these at 375. The pizzas, for that dough, it says 450. So I used a little toaster oven at 450. when you think about what's in that pizza, the only thing that really has to cook is the crust. Everything else is just heating up and warming up together. I'm just here. I'll turn this a little bit so you can see me and I won't go far. There. I'm looking into you. That's actually looking pretty good. That's not going to take a whole half hour.
Well,
The trick with those is going to be pulling them out of the pans. So I'll have my other 2 plates ready. But all these dishes, you can just make your own. Be creative, make your own. If you like one fruit more than the other, make it that way. If you've got a favorite pancake recipe, batter recipe that you really like, use that. Don't use the box stuff. If you're more of a fan of bacon than sausage, put bacon into that instead of sausage. Or what?
or both.
Or both. Yeah, you could put both. A little onion would be good in there, because I always like onion with bacon and sausage. And for the sweet one, you know, the one that's more like French toast, you could just, you know, put anything in there you like and use different breads. Experiment with different breads with these recipes, because that'll make a huge difference as well. Anybody got any questions? Oh, sure. Well, you could put maple syrup on these. That would be good. Thank you. They are yummy. You can just go back, Laura, and you can watch the whole episode. It'll be here on Facebook, and you can watch it on YouTube to get the whole recipe. Oh, I was going to give you my pizza dough recipe, as it's waking back up again. My laptop fell asleep. And I try to keep all my recipes on the laptop in one place, instead of having all those pieces of paper. Okay. Pizza recipe, for dough recipe, is 1 package of active dry yeast and a teaspoon of white sugar and a cup of warm water, about 110, 115 degrees. Let that all sit together for a while. Okay, about 10 minutes, it'll start getting foamy on top. Then you can add a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then stir in 2.5 cups of flour. Okay, once you've got that all incorporated, just let it sit for 10-15 minutes, or until you finish the first segment of your show, and then you can just roll it out like your pizza dough and do whatever you want to with it. I like it. It's worked out really good for me, and I kind of like the yeasty flavor in the pizza dough, so that works for me. Like I say, I've used that just on my cast iron pans and everything else, so it works out really good. Hi, Rebecca. So let's go see what's doing in the oven. Oh. Okay, it didn't bubble up real high like the one on the that was posted. But look, that still looks good. And that's got that nice hollow sound to it. Okay, I'm going to pull these out. Oh, yeah. See? So again, it didn't bubble up, but it is a different dough recipe. I'm going to turn this over on the plate. I'm really hoping this works. Oh! Did you see that? Oh my gosh! It just... Oh, you're missing me. Wow! You gotta see this. Hot dog. It came right out of the pan. Look at that. The cheese just flowed over the mushrooms and the pizza sauce and the crust. Wes, how hungry are you?
I don't know if I'll eat the whole thing, but I'll certainly eat
You'll
some
give
of
it a try?
I'll definitely eat some of it.
Probably could have used some more spices, too. I kept things fairly simple. But I want to see if we can get this one to pour out for them. so that they can see it.
Can I help?
You can let it cool for a minute too. You don't have to kill yourself trying to bite the hot lava cheese at the corner. Isn't that amazing? So I'm just loosening up the crust a little bit. It loosens. Oh, that loosens up real nice, doesn't it? It's nice having a witness to this magic. Watch as I pull this up. Wow! Did you see it? The cheese just ooze and pour out. Oh yeah. Oh, we're doing that one again. I know it's terrible hot.
No, I just couldn't get a good grip on it.
Oh, okay.
Like not on a table.
Can you believe that? Look, it just oozed. Move the camera. I did. Move the camera, move the camera, move the camera. Look at that.
And it's delicious too.
Isn't it? Wes likes it. Okay. The gooiness of the cheese in this is amazing. I'm going to have a foodgasm. That's all there is. It's going to be a foodgasm. Oh my gosh. I'm going to make this and try different cheeses. I've got 4 of those little blue bowls that I used. So I can make individual ones for everybody with whatever pizza ingredients they like. I can't believe this. It worked. Okay, next time I have company for dinner, we'll make pizza bowls. They're so simple. And that pizza dough recipe we'll make 4 of these, which covers my 4 bowls. I'm going to play with other ingredients and other seasonings and play with my own sauce too. Thanks everybody for joining. Oh, I pushed the dishwasher back on. It's not the worst thing I've done. Thanks everybody for joining me. Remember, next week I'm going to be live for 2 hours from 10 to noon Eastern Time. I'm going to be at the Gambrel's General Store. I'm going to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert before a live audience. My friend Ellen is going to be there, and she'll be doing all the camera action for me so that I won't have to try to move things around. And actually, they don't have an oven there, so I'm going to be cooking everything on a grill outside. Let's see how that works out. All my cast iron cooking on a grill outside before a live studio audience. What could happen? From my kitchen to yours, hugs to everybody. Thanks for joining me. Okay, where's the button to make it stop? There it is, finish. Finish!